trans terror cell operating within the U.S.? And can a number of homicides be pinned on this alleged terror cell?
In the bizarre story of a cult allegedly linked to the killing of a U.S. Border Patrol agent, David Malan. On Sunday, Maryland State Police arrested 3 alleged members of the group known as Zizians.
It took yet another dark and twisted turn, but first let's rewind. On January 20th, Border Patrol agent David Malan was gunned down about 20 miles from the Canadian border. But this wasn't just some random shooting. It was linked to a radical transgender group calling itself, as you noted, the Zizians. 2 suspected members were involved, Felix Buchholz, a German national, and Teresa Youngblood, a Seattle native. But as we uncovered and we talked about John weeks ago, Felix went by the name Ophelia, and according to one source, was fully embedded in the Zizian network. That same source provided us with a photo of Ophelia, which you're looking at right now. Buchholz, or Ophelia, died in a shootout with Border Patrol. Youngblood was arrested and is awaiting trial. But they weren't just on a road trip, they were armed to the teeth. Multiple firearms, ammo, 2-way radios, night vision goggles, and a ballistic helmet. Now here's the big update. 2 more members of this radical faction have been arrested. Jack Lasota, he's allegedly the cult's leader, and Michelle Zashko, who, as we previously reported, may have purchased the very firearms used in the Border Patrol slaying. Lasota is a biological male. He goes by the she, her pronouns and is believed to have faked his own death in 2022. Zashko, meanwhile, is a person of interest in her own parents' murder. Both were recently arrested in Maryland on a laundry list of charges, including trespassing and illegal gun possession, and are also connected to multi-state murder probes spanning Vermont, Pennsylvania, and California. What we're looking at here, John, doesn't appear to be random acts of violence, but instead a calculated network of potential killers operating across state lines.
Tonight's big story, the history of the group known as the Zizians that some have described as a possible cult, and just how Vermont becomes part of this intricate web.
Well, the full known history of the Zizians starts in 2019 in California with its alleged leader, Jack Ziz Lasota. Ziz and some of his alleged followers staged a protest standing up for their beliefs, and the story gets progressively more violent from there. Jack Ziz Lasota, a transgender tech whiz and devout vegan who had recently moved to the Bay Area, organized a group of people similar to him to protest a rationalist reunion.
They showed up there in all black robes, in Guy Fawkes masks, with a school bus and a flatbed truck. They blocked the entrance and exit to this place and started handing out flyers. Now we know, these years later, that that was really a launching point.
Fast forwarding to 2022, according to reports, Lasota and his associates bought a World War II tugboat in Alaska and sailed it down to San Francisco Bay with plans to live on it. But eventually, the boat sank and the group abandoned it.
His supporters and friends and family in California in the Bay Area had alleged that he died in a boating accident, and even his counsel told the court that.
And the attorney told the judge that his client, Jack Lasota, was dead.
The people who were on the boat with Lasota then turned to a landlord they met in the marina, Curtis Lind. According to court documents, after renting from Lind in Vallejo for a while, the group attacked him with knives and a samurai sword in November, with Lind fighting back, shooting and killing one of them, Emma Borhanian. About a month and a half later, a set of murders happened in Pennsylvania that seem unconnected on the surface until police arrested someone on an obstruction charge, Jack Ziz Lasota.
According to the police record, he acted very bizarre. He pretended to be dead. The staff had to hold him up for the photo.
Lasota's bail was eventually lowered to $10,000 in 2023, which he paid and got out. Lasota hasn't been seen since, but Zizian activity may still be ongoing. This year, Curtis Lind was set to testify as the lone witness in his own attempted murder case. And with a fading memory, his attorney filed paperwork to move his testimony up to happen as soon as possible. But on January 17th, Lind was found dead.
Literally the next day, prosecutors alleged that Maximilian Snyder walked up to him in a cul-de-sac just outside of his property in Vallejo and stabbed him to death.
He was the sole witness to one of their attacks, and that witness has now been murdered.
Then just 3 days later was the deadly shootout in Vermont between U.S. Border Patrol agents and the team of Teresa Youngblood and Felix Bachholt, who allegedly preferred the names Milo and Ophelia. Youngblood had filed for a marriage license with Snyder, the man accused of killing Lind in Vallejo. It was at this point some of the possible connections became clear, especially with court documents suggesting Youngblood could be linked to other violent cases across the nation.
What's scary about it is that there are people who are at large. It almost sounds like it's been written by AI. It's so unbelievable that if the allegations are true, there was an extremist cult killing people for several years, and federal authorities completely missed the seriousness of this.